for something. Yeah, now she better ride.
What's going on, y'all? Swerve City Podcast. We back. I've been on the road for a week and a half. Got sick, got a cold, but I'm recovering with some nice herbal tea, y'all.
Premium.
Sip it. It tastes good. Ginseng. Anyway, what's going on, y'all? At the time you're watching this, listening to this, however you're doing this thing, I just recovered from Wrestle Dream. Big victory in my hometown, Seattle, Washington, versus Hangman Page. What a battle I had. That boy is rough, tough, and he's lived up to everything that I expected in his name, Hangman Page, former AEW World Champion, former AEW World Tag Team Champion. That boy deserves everything he's gotten, but it's mine now. I took his spot. I've already got my AEW World Tag Team Championship, just like Hangman Page. The only thing I'm missing is the AEW World Championship, and I am chasing it, and by the time I get it, I'll be the first black AEW World Champion.
Let's go. You heard it here
Manifesting
first.
in 2024.
History is about to be made.
But within that time, we've also shot music videos out there. We shot the Big Pressure music video that is going viral everywhere on TikTok. So it's only right that Nana, Flash Garments, myself, team up and make a music video for y'all. And that's what we did over this weekend. So in a week, maybe. Actually, I'm not even going to give a timetable. When we feel like giving it to the world, we going to show y'all. But in the meantime, we're going to have my man Flash Garments, DaSilva here to talk about it, talk about the Big Pressure video and what's going on in their careers and their lives, what keeping them busy, because these are some big heavy hitters in the media world right now. What's going on, y'all?
What's good, bro?
Don't be so bashful, bro. This man, this is a too humble of an individual for the resume that he has. It is a big deal. Just run it.
Yo, what's up,
before we do it for you.
Man, I'm not big on talking myself, but it's about time I do it.
Let's do it, man. Come on.
My name is DaSilva-Greene. I am known for doing stunts in some of your favorite Marvel films, some of your favorite action movies altogether. I've been Black Panther stunt double, so the first time you seen Black Panther, that was me. I've been a Transformer, a couple of them actually. We can talk Bumblebee, we can talk Galvatron, we can talk Optimus Prime, we can talk about the Ninja Turtles. I was Leonardo. I got to don the blue.
Preach.
You know, I got to be
Head
the Black
turtle.
Ranger in,
Preach.
the Joseph Kahn Power Rangers that you've seen on YouTube.
I love those iterations.
You know, I've done some live action anime stuff as Backtrack. I've worked on some video games like Call of Duty, Halo, and Starfield, which is out right now. If you haven't gotten it, you should jump on that.
Yeah, get your Starfield.
You know,
get your
playing
Starfield.
third person, you see me. That's me walking around. That's me shooting. That's me ducking, jumping, driving, dying, all that stuff. So, I mean, that's where I'm at in terms of what I've done. Where I'm going is, I can't wait for y'all to find out. And I'm one of Swerve's homies, one of his confidants. You know, we thick as thieves, and this is my twin. You know, we light skinned. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Stand on that.
And a lot of the new maneuvers that you see me using, the techniques, the combat that I've been using in the ring lately has been from this man right here.
Oh man, that's
taught me
big.
some transitions. So Wrestle Dream, you see that capoeira move? I got it from this guy right here.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that is getting me to the next level in ring. Because there's a lot of stuff that I'm not, like I said, I don't study wrestling anymore. I study people. So I study this
That's
man
dope.
right here.
Hey,
Bars.
man, that's huge. And I'm just happy that I could be of inspiration towards that.
Man, you're an inspiration to a lot of people. And after y'all watch this episode, hope it inspires you.
Yeah, 100%.
Chase these career paths, all three of them. Flash, go ahead, talk about yourself.
Talk about it, baby.
What you've been doing, what you got.
I mean, pretty much, y'all probably know me by now. You know, with Swerve everywhere at this point. I'm Flash Garments. I mean, I grew up, in the Bronx, New York. Love hip hop, love wrestling, love video games, it's basically just the blurred environment. I love all of that stuff. And me and Swerve got together fresh off of the Kanye West Calamity, Donda 2 vibes, went to the Grammys together. We did a lot of stuff, and then we got together and made the song you guys love, showing us all the love, doing the dance and all of that. I love to see it. It makes me feel really good. And we just love all the fire. Like, I mean, performing at Wembley was like the craziest thing easily that I've ever done in my life.
For sure.
And I felt like Spartacus.
Now we gotta add a new thing to your name. It's the Prophet Flash Garments.
You know, it's crazy. Like he's been like talking to me for ever since I debuted in AEW that like, yo, I gotta wrap your entrance out. I was like, now's not the time. Especially when I was the AEW tag champion at the time. He's like, now's not the time. He's like, well, all right, this is the one. Double nothing. Nah, that's not it. All right, Full Gear. Nah, that ain't it either. He's like, all right, then you got to have me come out of Revolution. Nah, that's not it. Then All In got announced. All In got announced. Then I was doing my solo thing, and it was like coming up with, that's by the time we got, shout out Mike Manzuri. Mike Manzuri came into the company by the time, and me and Mike Manzuri, we've been buddies ever since like me doing SmackDown and 205 Live for a while. So he's always been a fan of mine, good, great production mind to the business. And I was like, hey, Mike, I got an idea for an entrance. He was like, oh, word? What do you got? I was like, Flash Garments. Raps me out. And DJ Hookah will be there overseas. He's like, I don't see a problem there. And sure enough,
made world history.
I was like, the biggest crowd we could have ever asked for.
Ever.
And that's the beauty of being patient on the right time. In wrestling, the beauty about pro wrestling is timing is everything.
Yeah, I see it.
It took a while to learn that, man. It's like timing is everything with the moves, the bookings, the buildings, the city, the song, the attire, the move, like the opponent, the feeling, the crowd, all of it has to culminate with like the stars aligning on timing, and it couldn't align better at that time in Wembley, bro, in London.
It's breathtaking, man. I know people at home. I see people like, in the Texas and like the TikToks, and you remember I've been sharing like how we made it and how we did that stuff. Everyone asked the same question, like, how did it feel? And I'm just like, yeah, like, what do you want me to say? I felt like 300. I felt like we was the last. I felt like a gladiator. Like, you can't even express it. Like, you can't hear anything. Like, I remember we was talking to Sting about how you can't, like, he was just talking about how dropping in, he was like, the sound travels up. So if you're in a helicopter coming in, sound travels up. You hear the sound, but as you're going into
it becomes
quiet.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ring, it's like quiet. So that was strange that it was like that. Because as we were walking out, and then did you think we was going to get that type of pyro? That was crazy. I said, yo, Swerve, I need some pyro. He said, all right, we'll get some. I'm thinking it's going to be a pow.
Bro, I was expecting. That's it's funny. I was like, I didn't want to be a nuisance because I already got my peoples in there rapping the song out. So I was like, can we get a little bit of pyro? So I was expecting like a peep.
Nah, that was the Wizard of Oz.
I was expecting a sparkler. No, they said, "Boom!" I was like, "Oh, we got dragons in this bitch."
Yeah,
oh my
crazy,
God.
And it was nonstop.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the guy in the back, he's like, "Bruv, you know how much that costs every hit?" He's like, "That's 2,000 pounds per hit." I'm like, "Per machine?" He's like, "Yeah, per fire."
And they were
so y'all could count how many fires that was.
That's still not as much as getting Metallica.
Oh yeah, facts.
Right
to get Metallica. Yeah, facts.
And We Will Rock You from Soraya,
right?
From Queen.
Oh my God.
So just that, like, so at that point, a little bit of 2,000 pounds per pyro hit. Yeah. It's just pennies
but
on the dollar.
We was low key like third in the running though for the most expensive entrance.
Maybe because Jericho had the live entrance as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
The main event had a lot of stuff too because like MJF had all the girls, the models.
Oh yeah, he had like the whole team carrying him out on the throne.
But I don't think that one was so pricey. Mm-hmm. But we just that pyro hits maybe.
Those pyro hits are strong.
Yeah, I think it was up there. Well,
I was crowd too.
The crowd was electrifying.
There's so much I had to no sell too. I had to no sell the flames. I had to no sell Nana's dancing, which everybody's like, "How do you not laugh?"
Yeah, I'm like, bro, he's right next to you going crazy. Like,
I don't see it.
I don't look at him. You're like,
I gotta look back on tape to like, you did that? I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I gotta stay focused, and I'm a tunnel vision. I'm like Biker Boys tunnel vision.
Right, but then they're asking me how long. There was like, how many times did y'all rehearse it? Because I was like, we only did that. We ran that
two, 3 times, maybe
3 times
fully,
and then
without Nana.
No,
too.
the day before we did that. Right? Was that the same? No, that was the same.
That was the day before. No, that was the day before.
It was.
Yeah, that was the day before. We didn't rehearse at all the day.
Oh yeah, we just popped up there.
Yeah,
and then people try to fry me on the internet. They were like, "Yo, why were you off time? Like you didn't know the words." I'm like, bro, do you not understand that the moment I went out there, as soon as that fire hit, my in-ear just cut off.
It got melted.
Like I had 2 in-ears on at the same time. It didn't get melted. We wasn't that close. You didn't see the whole crew in the video. Yeah. The whole crew ran out of the way before the pyro started.
Like, that was a like y'all gotta understand. That was a whole crew. That was a big production. That was a bigger production crew that we usually use. It has to like double in size.
Stadium.
Right.
It's
Wembley.
Right. Like you had the NFL football cam going over us during the entrance. You had the the jibs over there. Then you had like it was so much going on. So just the fact that the mic even worked is magic.
Yeah, but when it cut off, I was like, how do I get out of this? Like, because I knew in my mind, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Swerve is like, what the is going on right now? When it went off, because it went off, I'm like, we rehearsed this 3 times. It was flawless.
Yeah,
I was on time, flawless. But when that flame happened, when I jumped up, if y'all watch the video and recap it, I jumped up, put my leg up, and then I took my in-ear out mid-dance. That's why I was on time while we was going down the thing. Just that's the first time y'all finally getting the answer. They've been wanting to know why it was off. Did we not know?
But he got back on with like 2 seconds later.
Right.
It's like Jesus.
They just be looking. They be looking for anything to fry.
And we the only hip hop act on the show besides Acclaim. So like,
Facts.
Like give us a little, celebrate 50 years of hip hop. Give us something.
Yeah, 50 years of hip hop. We gave y'all real hip hop, rocking. That was rock and roll and hip hop together. With a real hip hop legend, mixtape legend.
And we got to go see after the show. Got to hang out with Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Like,
that's an inside. They didn't even know about that.
Fabulous individual.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we did
well,
hang out with
Dan. You know Dan. You work with So like, man, fabulous individual. He was awesome. Like
we ate jerk chicken with him.
Oh, y'all had jerk chicken?
Yeah,
probably the best jerk chicken.
Oh, they took it to the spot. Huh?
No. He had a private party where he bought all the chefs to cook the jerk chicken.
Oh,
and corn, like just grilling corn, like as like the party's going, and there was like a lot of people there. It was rooftop,
it was
all
a
on
vibe.
the rooftop. It was an awesome vibe, man. And then just showing them like, oh, this is what we did tonight. We come from Wembley. He's like, word, mate. Oh, we got to get a photo. I was like, yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, yeah, mark it out.
I always wanted to ask you this because I didn't even ask you after that. When you said whose house in there, how did it feel when you got that reaction?
Man, going back to like 2014, I was over in the UK all the time. I did my first tour of Germany and in the UK, and that's where I became real good friends with a lot of guys over there, like Will Ospreay, Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews. Shout out all them guys, love them to death. And I started doing like a lot of them shows, and then ever since then, like pretty much every month, 2015 and every month, I was just over in the UK every month, man. Like I was doing so much. Progress brought me in. My first match in Progress was against Ospreay.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he requested me.
What? That's tight.
Yeah, so we've been boys ever since then. And so, honestly, having him like just be like, boom, that's my guy. And then coming over, and he was still like 23 at the time, 22. And then doing shout out to Southside Wrestling. They had a lot of crazy cards. WXW Germany was bringing me over a lot. And so my name recognition in the UK was pretty big for like 8 years practically. So they've been doing Who's House, Swerve's House since like 2015, because the first Defy show was 2015.
Right.
Maybe it was like the second or third match I had in Defy was against Leo Rush.
Wow.
And
shout out to Leo.
In that match, we did our opening sequence or whatever, and then somebody said something. I said, no, this is Swerve's house. And then it was like, whose house? Swerve's house. And it started then. And then it just so that I took that over into the UK, and it just took off. Right. So doing that at Wembley, I think a lot of those fans who know who I was, they just kind of like they had always been locked in as far as like DNA when it comes to like resonating with myself.
So there was hype to finally all be in one building together, all in one place.
Yeah, and it was also for me to make my claim and make my statement why I'm on this card.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, Swerve's here. Like, okay, Swerve's a good wrestler, but like, why is he here on this stacked card? We could have had like I said, we have a super stacked roster. Yeah. Why are you here? Why do you deserve that spot? Right. So that was me to be like, whose house? Swerve's house. 80,000
that was like,
that's why I'm here.
That's why.
No, that was the people's champ move. That was the people's champ.
Yeah, and I think that's
100%.
where a lot of momentum shift. Just whoa, okay, this we hear this, we see this, we feel that.
Right.
It's like, okay, we need to start watching this guy more. And then I got put in the coffin, dreads hanging out. But still got put in the coffin.
Still we want that fade. We want that fade. We need to run that back. Mainly because there was like, bro, it doesn't matter. I'm like, bro, Sting's bat was outside of it. So how if Sting's bat can come out? Remember they said body part.
Yeah.
It's technically
but me going in that coffin, taking that loss
the truth, like,
is honestly what made me who I am.
Right.
It made me It changed something in me to go on to face Hangman Page and prepare for that.
True.
Now people feel what I am.
Right.
And like it's almost like, oh, like I remember back in the day, like when guys used to take a loss or something happened with them, they would come back weeks or months later, like something's off, something's different about them.
Right.
And I wanted to take Sting's influence on beating me and putting me in a coffin into the next
phase of the rebirth.
Yeah,
Basically the rebirth.
yeah.
Shout out to Eric Bellinger. Real rebirth,
You know,
type energy.
You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it took me into that realm. You know, talk about doing the same with a character.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like pretty much when you're portraying the roles that you're playing, you're pretty much you're portraying something that's already like an adaptation on a comic. Usually,
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's always like
It's already something that's already been created.
it's
right?
been created.
Right.
But then you still have ways to make like a Ryan Reynolds made Deadpool his own.
Right.
Even though we've been pretty much
Accustomed
to
that,
him for years, like years. But
Somehow it's him. It's like
Somehow
it
that's
just
his
makes
now.
So much sense.
right. He kind of
Just like Robert Downey Jr. with Tony Stark.
right.
You
It's
can't
like
see anyone else ever
didn't-
be him.
because Tony Stark, we know from if we watch the cartoons and the shows and the comics, he's a big guy. Tony Stark's like pretty big
he's
in
like
stature.
He's like 6 something.
Yeah.
But Robert Downey Jr. is not.
It's like, no, he's not. He's like, he's like actually one of the smallest Avengers. You
Yeah,
can see him in
yeah,
lineup.
exactly.
But it was like, this works so well.
It does.
And so like, portraying the character and the movements, how do you make that your own?
So like, of course you want to pay homage to the source material, right?
For sure.
So like for instance, I'll look at source material of Black Panther per se. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read the comics. I'm gonna look at what they did in some cartoon iterations where they introduced them. I'm gonna look at whatever video games might have them. But then I'm gonna take the things that I love,
Right.
right? So I'm a big Dragon Ball Z nerd, and I love Dragon Ball. So I looked at things like Yamcha's Wolfang Fist.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, I like this stance. I like the way how he hits this certain pose. And we know that the biggest things that I've learned from my dance career before I became stunts, which y'all probably don't even know about, I used to dance behind Chris Brown. So I learned
Transformia.
from... Yes.
What's the chances that he becomes a transformer for real?
From
And
transforming.
Right.
and he's doing the
And that's actually my
Transformia
first music video
video.
with Chris, is I Can Transform You.
Really? I gotta watch that
So
video.
I'm the ninja with him when he
Oh.
Yeah.
So me and him just messing around, we choreographed that together and within an hour and
What?
just did it.
The
Yeah.
more you find out,
So-
only on Swerve's podcast.
So I learned through the dance.
This is a clip.
world,
You gotta
right?
make this the clip.
Yeah.
X, you gotta make this the clip.
So I learned from like the dance world, like it's about transitioning through pictures, right?
Ooh,
So
okay.
everything is a picture. For instance, when you do your stomp, right? There's a when we want to see the poster, it's the guy sitting up and it's you with your knees tucked about to stomp this guy out. The
Yeah.
next picture is your feet
Extending.
hitting his chest,
Hitting
and
his
stepping
chest,
through,
pushing him back.
We want that to look as smooth as possible.
Right.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking all these different things and making them smooth and come together. So I'm
Right.
using this Black Panther attack that I've seen in a comic book, a pose or a picture that they've taken, and I'm taking the movement I saw from Yamcha from Dragon Ball. I'm combining those two and finding how I can make those two mesh.
Right.
So I'm taking parts of me, the things that inspire me, with the things that they want. And that's how I build a character up. And then I take personality into an aspect.
and the seamless movement of
Right.
dance that
So
you
it's
add.
like where is this character's mindset?
Right.
Who is he as a person? So like there's a thing that you guys see Black T'Challa do when he finally gets his hands on the Winter Soldier and he's on the knee and he scrapes his claws across
Yes.
the ground.
Very
I
iconic.
thought of that because he is royalty. Why would he ever put his knee down in front of another man? Especially the person that
he's trying to
killed his
destroy at
father.
that time. Yeah, he's
So
trying to destroy
this
him.
is the let's go moment. This is I'm making the line that you cross and now I'm gonna step over and now we have to fight. So I took those kind of ideas and those I guess those mindsets, those little pieces, and then I just mold them in. You let the things affect you, and those and that's how we are as humans.
Right.
We have these moments in life, and those moments change us. So I try to create moments in my head that will build me up to the moment that I want to be at. And so that will dictate my movement. That will dictate how I present myself, how I stand, how I walk, what my intention is when I'm going at people. We had a back and forth when we were creating the fight sequences because there's a whole bunch of fights that you guys don't see in the movie.
Oh, I believe it.
Right,
I believe it.
the splash panel fight, which is the big airport fight scene.
My favorite
was
top 5
45
fight
minutes
sequence.
long without a cut
Oh.
before they chopped it down.
45 minutes long.
45 minutes long because it's everybody getting
That's a
to fight
third of the
everybody.
movie.
Right, crazy.
Facts.
There's a whole fight with Captain America fighting War Machine, Black Panther, and Black Widow at the same time.
What?
That you guys don't get to see.
We're finding out the craziest shit right
There's
now.
a-
He's
there's-
never told me this, and I'm with this dude every day.
There's an even longer fight between Hawkeye and Black Panther that you guys don't get to see.
Oh, black on black.
Right. So and there's even longer fight between Winter Soldier and Black Panther that you guys don't even get,
I believe
right?
that.
So it's extended. There's all these extended fights that we have.
Oh my god.
And to try to get off as many moves as you possibly can, right? To make an effect. Because everybody has to get off.
Yes.
Everybody you have to make
So it's almost like in wrestling, like there's like 6 minutes.
Oh yeah.
When you have like eight man tags,
Right.
It's like everybody has to get off
That's
into some
crazy.
way, and you get like, all right, you like if you
Exactly.
calculate, there's like 30-second
And you have to
spots
make
each
everybody
person.
look good. Everybody
Yeah.
has to look good, and that's
Yep.
like the biggest thing about being a stunt performer
Mm.
that I came to learn at that age. I was 25 when I did this.
Right.
24, turning 25 when I got Black Panther. So I'm a young kid, and I'm kind of new to the stunt game. I've been in the stunt game for maybe like 4 years, 5 years prior to that.
Right.
I learned that my job is to make the guy in front of me that I'm working with look good, especially when it comes to the actor.
Oh yeah.
I have to make the actor look good. And then when it came to that film, it was about Black Panther making all the other superheroes look good. And so
Based off of in that film.
based off exactly.
And,
Yeah,
and that's
I can see
tricky
it.
because this is the introduction of Black Panther.
Right.
So at the same
Exactly.
time, he has to shine
Yes.
and like show why he's
Right.
one
But
of the
still
cool
kind of play the
characters.
background,
But you
though. He
can't
still had to
bury-
play the
you can't
background because
bury
you can't
anybody.
bury the Avengers.
Yeah.
Right. Like we've seen Iron Man for like 6 movies about that time.
Exactly.
Right.
We've seen like
Captain America for
Chris
4.
Thor.
We've seen the only person we didn't have in there was Thor. We have Ant-Man in there.
Yep.
We have
Was
and
Black Widow in there?
Black Widow was
Yes,
Oh, we
yes,
didn't
she
see
was.
her movie yet.
No.
No,
Yeah, so-
the only thing we seen was Ultron.
Right.
Prior to that.
But she was
Exactly.
in that as well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we're trying to make sure that one, these guys are all going to end up working together at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't do that kind of stuff. We can't overdo stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how about this? I know you guys really want me to do the claws. You really like me doing the claw stuff with Black Panther.
And that's the thing that stands out, but opposed to every other character. You have the
Exactly.
claws.
Exactly.
That's
so
your
it
thing.
changes how I throw punches, how I throw kick, like what my intention is. So I
And
was
the
like,
claws is vibranium.
right, right,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm like, all right, listen, guys, how about this? How about I only use the claws when I'm going after Winter Soldier because that's killing intention.
Right.
So
He's
let's
the only
do-
one that had the
Right.
rage.
So let's do
on
the
him.
kicks for everybody else. Let
Yeah.
me throw kicks. Let me throw try to do some grappling stuff, some like palm strikes or taking some Puma style martial arts
Okay.
or some sort of kung fu to add into there.
Right.
But then when it comes to Winter Soldier, we see it
Sheen.
changing the character.
Yeah.
And that's the claws. And so trying to make use of the weapons we have, right?
That's beautiful.
So that's how
It's
I
also
became
like
our
the
movie.
powers too. They like
Right.
certain powers were used. Like Iron Man wasn't using like the beams and
Right.
stuff on certain people.
Mhm.
It was just I just
Exactly.
need to neutralize you
Right.
and keep you down. But like
We're all friends
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
That's
Yeah.
just showing that he didn't want to really. He used it a little bit when he was fighting against Captain America.
but
He
when it
was-
got down to the 3 Bucky, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, they
and
stopped that.
Then
Yeah.
it was like, okay, this is survival at this point. I
Exactly.
have to use this because if not,
Right.
I'm dead.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of psychology in that stuff too, which what's once again like I started studying those things
Yeah.
to add into my matches as well. It's like, okay, what if like this isn't just wrestling, this is like survival.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do I put this person in survival mode? What changes about this match with my opponent that is different about
Right.
wrestling me compared to wrestling this guy,
Right.
this guy. He has
Right.
to do this with me though.
Mhm.
You know, I have to do this. I have to go these lengths with him
Right.
because we're in this grudge together. You know, this like, and that's what it says. You study people because
Right.
I feel a different way about him. He feels a different way about me. So and so feels a different way about so and so.
Right.
And therefore, the matches should be different. They shouldn't all be the same.
Yeah.
Not every fight's gonna be a grudge fight. Sometimes
No.
Sometimes it's just like, yo, you're just in my way.
Yeah.
Other times it's like it's personal.
Exactly.
And that changes how you enter and how you leave.
Truth.
And that's what gives you the triumph too. Like we get to feel the triumph when that happens. You get to feel it. Like I want to feel something. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for
Like
sure.
stuff can't be. I'm just tired of looking at stuff that has no feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's watered
Truth.
down.
Truth.
You know?
And that comes with a lot of content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When there's a lot of content, it's hard to build grudges when everybody's on screen.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I mean, after meeting you, I ended up. So you got me to my first live event. I've never been to a
Oh, really?
pro wrestling event live. Like I was a big wrestling nerd growing up. I loved The Rock. I loved the Hardy Boys. Like any kid that grew up in the 90s to the early 2000s knows about the Attitude Era and loved the Attitude Era, right? They followed all that stuff. I was one of those kids. I got in trouble in elementary school for showing a kid how to do the backbreaker properly. Got in a lot of trouble for that. I was like, I was just showing him the move. Like, why am I in trouble? You know, I've taken a choke slam onto tile before and realized that that's not fun. I've done all those things, and I've always thought about like, wow, like this would be something really cool to be a part of and do.
Right.
And I ended up, after linking with you, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and figure out who should I go to find out who can show me what pro wrestling is.
Right.
And teach me the right ways. And I met Rikishi, and he was showing me the commonalities, the common ground of being a stunt performer and being a pro wrestler.
Yeah, there's a lot of
difference. There's a lot of difference.
Major.
There's a lot. There's
parallels.
There's
a lot.
parallels.
Yeah.
There's we're like cousins.
Very much so.
Very,
I was talking about that earlier in an interview I done. And a lot of times we tried to compare it to like how much the music compares to it as well. What did I learn from music to wrestling? So like Flash, I wanted to go with you on that. With all the years of doing music, like music is truly in your blood from the birth. Yeah. You know,
DNA
to like going to the peak of this with not just performing at Wembley, but being in studios and writing with some of the biggest names in hip hop today and stuff. What are the parallels you're noticing in wrestling, in the music, and the patterns and the rhythms?
I feel like it's all beats. It's like I've learned a lot because you brought me to that hardcore match. Remember, you got me back into it. I didn't want to do. I didn't know anything about this.
People back into
not because he wasn't.
I'm a team builder. Bro.
Yeah, it was. This is pre AEW signing. Like he brought me. He was getting ready to sign, and he was just like, "You got to see this." Like the whole feeling thing. He was like, "You need to come to this, and you need to see what this is about first before you do any music or anything with me." So we get there and he's like, "Yo, I got a surprise for you." So I'm like, come on. I wonder what he has. I get there, bro, and it's X-Pac, and I'm like, you're me right now. Not the dude that got me in trouble my whole entire
the man
life.
Himself. That's my guy.
I told everyone to suck it in my school. And my mom would come to school and be like, "Yo, what the is your problem? Why do you keep doing this?" And she's like, "Say sorry." I'm like, "No." And she's like, "I'm gonna kill you in front of these people." And then
these arbitrary things.
Yeah, and then when I'm watching these things, I'm like, Swerve, this is like some hardcore, like people getting lit on fire, glass, all of that stuff. He's like, "Bro, I used to do all of this, bro." Like showing me the scars on his back. I'm like, wow, like I'm seeing how it feels, the music and all of that stuff, and I'm like, I've always loved hip hop, like period, separate with my uncle and stuff like that. Rest in peace, Love Bug Starsky. I've always, hip hop's pioneer. He gave us our name. He coined the phrase hip hop. My uncle, the said and done is in the proof, proclamation, all of that stuff. Right. And I see the passion of me as a kid was me wrestling and doing moves in my house against my brother, against everybody. And then I'm like, what made me feel away? The music made me feel away. And I felt like it was missing when you were showing me the movements and how it was happening. It's the beat, 1, 2. It's like, you rap, so the bar placement, the hook, the bridge, the importance of the hook and the bridge being there, pre and post.
Yep. Right.
I'm like, this is the same thing I'm looking at from behind the stage, when I'm behind the scenes with you, to when I'm seeing the show. And I'm just like, wow, there's definitely a hole in hip hop here. They've done it before. Run DMC has done it before with a rock hip hop crossover. But then I'm like, people were like asking me like, why did you guys slow down the original Big Pressure? I said, because one, we want you to feel this.
Right.
I want you to feel this. They like, why did Swerve slow down his walk? I said, feel this. Enjoy this time. This motion. This is emotion.
It's presentation.
Right. Yeah, it's presentation.
It's just different, man.
But they just be not when people want to fast forward the trailer. I mean, they want to fast forward the trailers and get straight to the movie. But I'm like, there's a feeling when you're watching the Marvel movies and we get that dun 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 dun. And then they show the comics, and I'm just like, yes,
yes,
absolutely.
And we need that.
I was talking to, I did an interview earlier today, and they were asking me like the same thing. I was like, performing music and going to concerts. That's kind of how I want my entrance to feel. Like Here he goes. He's walking up. He's ready to. He's about to grab that microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Right when he grabs it, and he's like, "Whose house?" Yes. All right, now we're here.
Yeah.
It's the same
because that's their
approach.
payoff.
Yeah.
Let them wait. They got to wait for the payoff, though. You don't get
Yeah.
the instant payoff. Enjoy, bask in the time and the moment of us being here in the flesh.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to be here. When we're doing this and giving these sound bites and giving all of these innovative things that people get to see, you know, I said this before, the day that he got signed, I said he's going to be the first champion. The first black champion, the heavyweight, the biggest boy. He's gonna get that, and we're not stopping until we do.
We see it too. It's crazy.
And everyone
I've seen your
can see
body
it.
transform since I've known you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty amazing.
No, it's a champion.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work, bro. It's a lot of hard work, and it's also a lot of hard work just maintaining and like balancing all of it. Like the podcast, you know, like oh snap, my boys are in town. Hey, Sy, boom, just jump on this tonight, because like, and I just came from the gym, like 2 hours in the gym. And my personal trainer pushes me. I'm literally doing like thousands of reps.
Yeah.
Like thousands of reps. I'm not even joking.
And
like,
you travel, how often do you travel a week?
every week. Like this past week, I was in like 3 different states, 3 different cities. And
we was with him. We was with him in Seattle.
Yeah. And
I saw it on the AEW Instagram. We was right there.
To still maintain your body and travel around the world.
And still drop music.
Still perform,
and drop music.
And
your
shoot
mental
videos. And still like wrestle. And still still got to work out. You know.
And I saw his workout. I went to the gym with him in Seattle. And he was like, I did a little bit. I just can't get.
He goes and does his pull.
I do. He know I go do
pull-ups. You know,
I go do my muscle up
I'm never going to
calisthenics.
challenge him into this because like I'm working out for a whole different reason. He's working out.
Right.
You know?
Facts.
So like I have to row 315
It's crazy.
just to like 10 reps just to make sure I can control it, because that's another human being.
Yeah.
I'm going to be controlling in the ring. I got to control my body and my base to control another person. You know, to put them where I need them to go.
But being as big, like champion size, right, and then still being able to be agile, how you even pull that off? Like, and to be able to move in the air, agile.
That's base.
Yeah.
Controlling my core is big, huge. That's the way it has me swivel and transition and like be able to like get in position on the timing. Like boom, turn, he's there. Right. You know, just that is like a core movement.
Right.
So I have to be able to deadlift 500 pounds.
Right.
Like my highest deadlift is
But
615.
you still got to be able to pick your hand over your arm.
Over your arm and still, that you can.
And that's also like flexibility, learning that, you know, but also strengthening my shoulders, making sure my elbows and joints aren't hurt. You know, there's remedies to this too. Right. You know, like my biceps. Again, you also have to have the look.
Right.
So you got to work out for the work, but you have to work out to look the right way too. You know, so I'm constantly always maneuvering, changing, adapting. Okay, I got to adjust this. Okay, this is where I need to go. Okay, this person's like right now, like Christian's like one of the biggest heels in the business right now.
Yeah,
like so across like every art form of pro wrestling, he's like one of the top guys.
Yep.
I gotta transition and adapt with him as well to make sure we're doing 2 different types of personas on television.
Right.
You know, like and he does the same with me. He makes sure like we're not crossing each other's lanes.
Right.
So like I'm using different verbiage. I'm talking in a different tone. He talks in a different tone.
Right.
I have a different type of attire. He has a different type of attire. And that's like just that alone is major for myself in the position to like a legend like that is like transitioning for me. Like I'm slated as we're the 2 top heels in the entire company.
Right.
You know.
And I feel like the era you in right now, bro, it's like Puff would say, like I feel like you in your love era. It's like your hate to love era. You hate to love it. You gotta love it.
But I saw some today.
to.
I'm still not done. I'm still not done transitioning. I'm still not done at adapting and
growth
evolving.
Right.
To the main, you're not even in your final form yet. It's
No,
not
I just
even
turned
final
34
form
years
self.
old.
Yeah.
Christian is like late 40s
Right.
and stuff. And, you know,
He's showing us a whole new form.
he's showing
already.
a whole nother range.
Yeah.
He's showing another extension.
Yeah.
Sting, 60 years old, showing another extension.
Super gold.
So, like, those guys are never going to stop. Like, Jericho showing another extension.
Right. Yeah.
These guys are never going to stop. So, like, people are like, yo, you finally made it. No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
this is y'all seeing me warm up right now.
Like, you're just seeing me.
Right.
You're just like, it's just like y'all finally see it.
Right.
Like, in unison. It's not like, oh, I see it. I don't know what he's talking about. It's
But
not
it
like
feels
here.
good,
Now it's
bro.
like, here.
Right.
I'm here. I've arrived. and
I
y'all
watched
see
that
it.
media scrum and I seen all of them just giving the flowers. The flowers is the key, man. That's what I
Right.
live
Thank you.
for. That's what makes you. I know that's what it's about, bro. I think that's
Yeah.
the goal.
Yeah.
Is
It
to
is.
get the flowers from your peers.
And like what I'm most proud of that week was like on Dynamite, you had Brian Cage face off against Claudio and Nick Jackson in a 3-way. Then you had on Collision on Saturday, you had Toa and Khan face Kenny Omega and Jericho.
Crazy.
That was a
match.
fun match.
Yeah,
Which
it
was
was
excellent.
crazy.
They killed
That shit
it.
was excellent.
You know, and in win or loss, those guys are presented.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're being presented with big name top of the food chain guys in our company
Right.
in the business. And then you have me and Hangman, a former AEW World Champion, at the pay-per-view on singles. This is my first singles pay-per-view match. Everything else has been tag teams
Complete body.
and battle royals.
Right.
So
Crazy.
Which is crazy because it's
was
like
a
I was
body.
like Swerve just became a face in Seattle.
Nah, that was a body.
Yo, they
But in
love-
the crib, in his
they
crib
love
though. That's how
Swerve.
it's supposed to
That's
happen.
how it's supposed to be.
but even still with that, I'm still Swerve.
Yeah.
I'm still like trying to do the nastiest, meanest things to get my victory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who would you say is like one of the people that you got your roses from where you was like, okay, like that
in
felt great.
music,
Yeah.
or like to be.
Both, honestly, even in life.
Yeah, in music, I would say my roses came from. If you want to say, we'll go old school. It'll probably be the one that I looked up to the most was like Curtis Blow. Like that. I got roses from him. I've gotten roses from Dougie Fresh. I've gotten roses from the man himself, Mr. Def Jam himself. You know who that is?
Oh yeah.
sir.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's really tight.
So and then with wrestling, it just happened that I've always loved this dude since I was a kid, and because of Swerve, we're in backstage. Swerve says, "Hey, look who's here." Sting's right there, and he says, "I love this guy," and it gave me a big hug, and I was like, "This is crazy. My action figure is picking me up right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to
It's
lose
nuts.
it out here.
So
I'm about to lose
tight.
it. Like that moment, I was gonna lose it."
Yeah.
And I never not lost it. Like when I'm chilling with you, I'm just like everything is just like, hey, what's up?
What about
But
you?
then I was like,
Oh, man.
Industries. All industries, I'd say, because you crossed over like
yeah, he's
3,
like
4
set.
different
He's
ones.
in 7
Yeah,
different
man.
dimensions right now.
Yeah.
One, I would say one of the biggest ones because I grew up watching him, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, so sick.
Jamie Foxx let me know
All-star.
I was dope, and he
That's
kept reminding
awesome.
me that I was dope, and I was like, "But you're the dope. You're the goat.
Yeah, you're like the
guy
dope.
who
You're the
I
dope.
grew up
Yeah.
watching."
Right.
Like
That's
I
like
used
3
to go,
generations now.
all
That's
the
what I'm
time.
saying.
That was
That's
my
cool.
dude, right?
Yeah.
That's Django. I know you was
Yo,
like Django.
oh my god,
I'm dope.
Yeah.
bro! To get that and
Django's in my hallway.
and the reason,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the reason why that was so big was because I had people hating on me on that same production.
Mm.
And he was like,
never
"No,
told me
you're
that.
dope." It was one of the hardest things I ever dealt with because here I am with my hero,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm having people that brought me on upset about me being dope around my hero, and my hero's like, "No, you keep being dope. You're dope. I'm following what you want to do. You're good."
Which
I'm
movie?
going
Which
with it."
movie was that?
This was Project Power.
Yeah, Project Power was
Oh,
actually
yeah,
a
yeah.
really dope
Yeah.
film.
That was really so. Jamie Foxx.
I like that in the vampire movie he did.
Yo,
That was a fun movie. That was
a
fun.
really
With
good
Snoop
movie.
at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Fun movie.
What,
Very
Day Shift?
enjoyable.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
fun
my
movie.
sis Megan Good. She smashed that. That's
That was a
my
good
sis.
movie, bro.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie so much.
And then I got Chris Evans. Chris Evans was going around telling
Ooh.
people how talented I am, and I was
Chris
like,
Evans.
that
yeah.
was dope.
Captain America, by
And
the way.
yeah.
you know.
And then Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson came up to you one day.
I
and
hate you
said-
for that.
She called me the light of her day. I was like, oh, she's like, you're
you was
so
like,
amazing.
I know you was like,
Nah. still to this.
you
still
know
to
you
this-
was.
Yo.
He's gonna fall out.
Yo,
Still to this day, I would say, man, I'm trying to think of the match I sent him. I can't remember what match I sent him. Maybe it was, oh man, I can't
excited to
remember.
hear who he's
I can't remember.
Yeah,
this.
I'm waiting. I know. I
There's
feel like
two.
I
There's
feel like I
two.
got one that he. I
There's
think
2
he's
roses.
gonna say.
Actually, I could say 3. There's 3 roses I got in the last 3 years that I was like. Actually, I could say 4. I remember all these. I remember these.
just drop my name,
maybe
bro.
drop
But there was
Drop
like,
the
there was like levels to it. There was levels, and they just like, okay, cool. And then I got the next level. So the first one, I'll go in chronological order. My first one, I wrestled Davey Richards at Defy. It was for we did the tournament, and me and him came to the finals of whoever was going to be the first Defy world champion in the finals and stuff. And then Davey, we did this angle where Davey hurt me in the night before and stuff, and like And then the start of the match, he like gave me a brainbuster on this pile of chairs on the floor.
Yo,
the match continued.
Y'all are crazy.
People don't know. He takes the craziest bumps. This
really
guy
do.
is out of control.
I really do.
Between him and Darby is the GOATs for bumps.
No, Darby got me beat by far.
That chair
But
spot was crazy.
I've gotten my body splintered and scarred more than Darby's has.
For sure.
But the first one was Davey Richards, and he did the leg lock on me, and I passed out from the pain.
Yep.
Boom, and he like crawls over and he says, "You're going to be a millionaire one day," and then goes up, leaves, and just gets the belt, raises the belt, and I just stayed passed out, and I was like, "Davey Richards." This is like Davey Richards, like y'all don't know, y'all had to be there when in Ring of Honor, the prime of Ring of Honor when he was world champion. Him and Seth Rollins or Tyler Black, Kevin Owens, Eddie Edwards. Like, Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson, he was killing it. He was the best wrestler in the world, bar none at that time. And so going up against him, against for that belt right there,
Yep,
like
that's crazy.
It meant everything to me, and that's where I knew like key things. I was like, okay, I'm on the right path.
right.
And then the next one, I was in the PC, and I get stern talking tos by Matt Bloom here every once in a while. Albert A Train, whoever you want. Like he was on my ass for like that first 6 months to a year. He was on my ass. Stern talking to you did this yada yada. But then like we had this one talk, and like we had a match. We did like these PC matches, and then like after the PC match, whatever, like he was like, honestly, he's like, you're as good as Randy Orton. That's who I see. He's like, you're just as good as Randy Orton, if not better. And I was like, whoa. That was like huge.
Yeah.
Because this guy has like, at that time, this is already past the gold era of black and gold NXT. He's seen everybody, Andrade's.
Right.
Like Finn came through at that time. Finn was the champion at that time, actually. And he was telling me that. And I was like, this is a dude who's on my ass.
Right.
For like daily in that place. But he gave me that, and I was like, okay, I'm on the right path.
Right.
Then I did a 205 live match. This is COVID era. I did a 205 match. This is my first time telling these stories on air too.
No, it's going to be a very rare interview when we pull up over here.
Yeah. And I wrestled Jack Gallagher.
Okay.
And we put a fun match together too. It was lengthy too. It was like 16 minutes. In 205, we don't have commercials. So
Jeez.
Great 16. And we're just like, boom, boom. We're doing our thing. We're gelling, doing the thing, boom, 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 boom. And like match was over. I come to the back. Heyman was sitting there eating while watching the monitor. He was like, I love that finish. I love that. I legit thought I bought that false finish. I loved that. I loved it. And ever since then, we exchanged numbers.
That's amazing.
And been great with him. And then I had a match. It might have been one of the me and Leon Ruff matches. It was either that one or me and Bronson in NXT. And I called this man, Edge, or Adam Copeland.
Adam.
I send him the match. I wait a day. He's like, oh, let me get on the phone with you. We talked for like 30 minutes dissecting this thing.
Sheesh.
And he's like, maybe if it held this a little longer, but yada, yada, yada. But the way you come back to certain things with the psychology and keep the story thread all the way through, it reminds me of watching Bret Hart. And he was like, that's the feel I get watching your matches.
The best there is.
And I was like,
man.
what?
That's major.
So those are my 4 like hats off roses that I've gotten from some of the greatest to ever do this.
That's amazing.
On 3 different levels too.
Yeah.
You know,
Jeez.
someone who's seen a lot of talent, someone who's the greatest talent, and someone who like literally like coaches a lot of the great talent.
Yeah.
So that was major for me. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me driving, continuing. I know what I'm doing is right. And I stick with it. No matter what people are criticizing me for and saying this and saying that, I should do this. I'm like, no, I'm here for a reason. Yeah. This is my position, and I'm holding it because I know what I'm doing, and I'm damn good at it. And there's no problem saying that to the world.
Right.
And the people that are in control and the people that are the kings of it are saying it.
They say the same
that
thing.
You're doing the right thing.
But
you're
they
on
say
the right
the same
path,
thing
so.
about themselves.
Right.
Like, and there's something interesting, like how they criticize certain people saying things, but but they boost up other people saying the same things
yeah.
about themselves. It's very interesting, and I pay attention to that. There's, I keep a sharp eye on like self praise is not a bad thing. That's not ego. That's not cockiness. That's literally what you wouldn't want to pay money to see somebody who's not sure of what they're doing.
Truth.
You want to go see. You want to go see. Pay your ticket to see someone who knows that they're the best.
Yeah, in a way, but then you have to perform at a high level. Some people take that to some people take that with a grain of salt and then be talking crazy, and then you get in this bunk. Like you finally get to see him, you're like, is this what you hyped me up for? You can't Deion Sanders talking and not be Deion.
But like, I'm pretty sure like when you pay thousands of dollars for Taylor Swift, you know you're going to get Taylor
Correct.
Swift.
You're gonna get it every time.
Yeah, but like with a Kanye, not a Kanye, but a Kendrick.
Yeah,
right.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna.
He
get
says,
I'm
the best in the world. True. I'm the best rapper alive. Whatever. Then there's a lot of what? No, he said this. What? He thinks he's the best. No, Drake, J. Cole. Yeah, no, he ain't better than Biggie. He ain't better than Pac. Like,
no, but that's what you're supposed
he should
to.
Believe that.
This is what you're supposed to say. This is a competitive sport. But we're in all of this is in competitive sport. Wrestling, music. What he does, acting, all of that stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's all competitive.
So my
and
big
I think
question that I wanted to ask you is, because it was a big thing for me. How did your family take you deciding to be a pro wrestler?
My mother was my biggest supporter, and she still is to this day.
Yep.
Like, my dad, he was like, "Oh, okay, so just make sure you get a trade, and you don't fail in life." Stuff like that, make sure
you know to get a trade talk. You know to get a trade.
Like, make sure you get a trade. Make sure you get a license to be a plumber or some shit like that.
Just in case it fails.
Get your CDL just in case it doesn't work out. It's all over. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad. But my dad's like, he supports. I brought him to SmackDown when I was on the road. And I brought him to NXT when I was on the road. I haven't brought him to AEW yet, but my mom has been to AEW. My mom was there when I won the North American title in NXT. That's actually, awesome.
And your mom was there when you signed.
She was there when I came out on Revolution. Our moms were there.
That was cool.
So my mom was like, I moved down to Virginia.
Okay.
And I just came back from my military. I was like, they had a job for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, months. Okay. No, yeah, it was like it had to be 6 months. And I hated working the job that I did like cable, and then I transitioned to Amazon in the warehouse, like filling the trucks, type bull crap at 3 a.m. Being there at 3 a.m.
Graveyard.
I gotta work in the morning. I gotta work in the morning. Ain't nothing worse in the world than telling your friends I can't go out because I gotta work in the morning.
Oh,
like, yo, we going to the spot. What you coming? No, I gotta work in.
I got sleep.
I gotta count my sleeps.
I gotta count my sleeps.
If I get home, if I leave now at 10, I can get there at 10:30. I can wash up, be in the bed by 11:30.
They give me 4 hours.
They give me 4 hours. I gotta be back in the car. I gotta work in the morning.
Hey, you really be feeling like that. Your body is every bit saying that too.
I'm like, oh
your
man,
body's saying it.
Yeah, like I gotta count my sleep.
My boy,
hours.
like I feel that right now.
I gotta work.
What was it like for you?
Yeah.
What when I
family?
Oh, finding out that I want to rap. What? That was out. What do you mean? My mom was like, you could do whatever you want, but not under my roof. Like, if you wanna live here, you better do something. And then when I went with, she was like, that rap, that's out. She's like, your uncle is your uncle. She sheltered me from that. I didn't know anything about that. How about that? Imagine I knew that my uncle was like a pioneer of hip hop, and I'm just getting these CDs. I'm getting the G Unit CDs before anyone knew. I'm getting the Dipset before anyone knew about the Diplomats. I'm listening to it because my uncle is the DJ, the God DJ. So I'm hearing that. My brother's like, why he get all the tapes? And I'm like, man, this is hard. Like, I love this. Mobb Deep, this is crazy. And I'm like
finding out you're a wizard, Harry.
Right. And then I'm like, I want to rap. And my mom was like, that's crazy. You're not rapping. Like, you better get just the same thing. You better go get yourself a trade or get out of my house. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well.
My mom was good with that, though. She's like, you can be in the house as long as I know where you're at.
But it's different. I mean? You're an athlete. When you're doing, it's like me playing football. If I was playing football, she would have been like, all right, play football, get good grades, play football. I was like, I want to rap. During that time, it was like,
you'd be surprised.
Being a rapper is like, Nah, what you talk about? That's
you
like
be-
playing video games for a living.
Would you be surprised how many people don't take pro wrestling as being an athlete? They think
That's crazy.
It's like the average person looks at it as like this carnival act,
Right.
Like it's a sideshow. Especially when you go to a show and you're like wrestling in a freaking. I'm not doing arenas. I'm doing community centers,
Right.
and like gymnasiums and like fairs. I've wrestled in front of a Walmart,
Right.
in the parking lot. So you see that and you're like, oh, this ain't taking off. Like it's easy to just like not see the vision.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's like saying
Years from
the Meek Mills of the world wasn't going to take off when we seen them with the Braves battling. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like when you see that, but that's what makes your family be like, nah, you're not doing that, because it was so connected to the urban sense of things. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealing,
There's just levels to
all
this.
of that stuff. You never know when you're gonna make it. That's why they say when you get signed, that's like the big thing. You know what I'm saying? My mom's like, if you get signed, then you do it. But I've yet to sign a contract for any label or anything. All of this stuff has been independent, but it's through inventing certain different scenarios, like we've been doing nonstop. Just inventing brand new things. They're never gonna believe it or try to be a part of it. They try to be a part of it once we're already cooking the meal.
Right.
No one wants to like figure out how we're gonna make recipes together.
I always said people want results first.
Oh yeah.
And that's not how this works.
I wish it did. Lord knows.
I wish I could get like the payoff before the grind.
Right.
Right.
But then there's no point of doing the grind.
Right. The
But
journey.
then you feel like nothing though. Like if
It's
I like
like-
the hibachi. I like the
Yeah.
dude doing the little tricks and rolling the egg down the spatula.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting like
You know?
it's kind of like getting an RPG and I'm leveled out already.
He's like, yo,
yeah, I'm like,
bored.
okay,
Low-key,
what's
like-
the point of going? I don't have to go through this part and this part and this part.
just smack the
I
smack
could
a
just-
straight line.
Yeah,
Right.
that like no, that's not how this works, bro. And then you really understand the people that you keep with you that were there.
Right.
On this part and this part, and you still talk to them to this day. Oh, I borrowed them $15 for gas to get to that show and stuff like that. I remember those. Yeah,
That's so
man.
tight.
But those are the best times though. I appreciate
back,
those times.
It was hard for me because I had kids.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where it was real.
Yeah,
That's where
how-
the scary moment
How
came
did
in.
how
Right.
did that happen? Like when you had kids, what did you feel?
Well, see that when a guy meets a woman.
Oh, yeah.
right, so
So basically, this is that the birds and the bees. And how no, I'm saying like, how did it like after you had kids and then like reality sets? Like, what
Yeah.
do you do after that?
I got to get a job. One, because wrestling. At that time, my first year of wrestling, year and a half, I didn't get paid a dime. I made no money. It was just all the wrestling school, and we had shows.
Right.
And you take apart the ring, load it in the truck, drive, unload the ring, put the ring back together at the school.
Right.
And then, like that was your night. Your night was done when the ring was set up back at the school. And you'd be getting home at 2 a.m.
Right.
Damn.
after a show. So you had to wrestle and then do that, load it. So I was doing that for like a year and a half, and then still had like little odd jobs here and there. I was thankful, like I still made a little bit of money on the side because I was military. So I would do my drills, and every time I would go do drills in Pennsylvania, I would go see my daughter. It was my oldest at the time, and me and the mom wasn't seeing eye to eye. We had a lot of battles back and forth, so there'd be going months where I wasn't seeing her and I was on the road and things like that. But then like that built up a lot of callous in me, because if this is the worst, I can handle that. If this is the worst that this gets, it's only going to get better from here. I can do this. And that's when I knew internally, it's like, I'm not dead. I'm not like, I have all my limbs. I'm healthy. I have this. It was honestly like being stranded, but you still have tools.
Yeah,
Right.
you have tools to survive.
I can still make something.
make something.
Yeah. I can still make shifts things to preserve myself and progress forward and get to where I need to go.
Right.
I still can get to this destination and I'm not dead. And that's how I kind of like, okay, I know this connect. I got this guy. I got this. I can use this car. If I trade this for that, I can get this. I have enough money to pay for that. I can see my daughter here, a Ford formula for her.
Right.
But I got to be here in this morning, the 6 a.m. in the morning
for me to get this money in order to do this.
So it was a lot of like just balancing and like, yeah. So
it's like that Dr. Seuss. It's like standing on the ball with all the plates and all of that stuff.
it was a
on your head, like-
lot of that, man. It was
Yeah.
a lot of just like, and that's a lot of friends and family that didn't necessarily understand, but they cared,
Right.
and they knew I wasn't out in the streets. I wasn't like
You weren't doing negative stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't
you
doing
wasn't
anything
a
bad.
bad kid.
It was always positive, good stuff that I was doing.
Right.
So I had support,
Right.
you know, and that's how I kind of like progressed forward until I was able to like do this on my own.
Right.
I got it. Thank you all.
Right.
I don't need you guys anymore. But if you need me, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here to help you now. Now the tables have turned.
Now I can give it back.
Right.
You know, but yeah.
And you're very big on that, which I admire, and I think that's one of the things that we connect on the most
For sure.
is our willingness to give back. You know?
It's a must, man. That's community.
Yeah.
You know, that's like people look at these success stories of like LeBron and his people and all that stuff. It's like, well, they stayed together, and you know they gave to each other. You know, like,
Right.
And you push the hot person,
Right.
Whoever's a hot hand right now, like
Go.
Geese,
Let's go.
You
Push him up.
Let's get him. Let's get him.
Yeah, there's times where like Teasy is the hot guy, and you've been there, you've seen that. Like Teasy, you hot. What do you want to do? We follow behind you.
Yeah, we
Right.
push
Like,
him because
I'm
we're
the
ready.
big TV wrestler star guy, but like Teasy, you're hot. I'm playing. I'm feeding you.
Right.
You know.
Facts.
Like sometimes Sai got the hot hand on a music video, and like Sai, you got it. You cooking right now. Where do we
go.
need? Where do you need us? Where do you need us?
Right.
What can we do to help you do what you need done in
Right.
the best way possible? There's no egos
At all.
Right.
like I like don't let all this
Because we all win.
exactly
No, because
We
it's
all
the
win.
team. The team to
Yeah.
win the championship. I want to win the championship.
I wanna win.
I'm not here to
I could
just.
drop 10 points in the
be the hot
finals
dog.
as long
As
as we win.
Yeah.
As long as everybody gets, we all
Yeah,
get the
but then
ring.
there's people that want a hot dog and they score 60 points and then lose the game.
Lose.
And then be looking crazy in the end, and we all now the whole team, all the team members are like, "Okay, just pass me the ball, bro."
Yeah.
But your ego wouldn't let me just lay it up.
You could have just played defense.
Right.
If you
Right.
would have guarded that corner in the end.
That's all you had to do,
That's all you had
dog.
to do. Yeah.
Your part.
We trained and did all of this for so long, and then that's why, like, remember you were saying the hot moment. Right now, you're smoldering hot. What did I do? What did I say? I said we have to do the video. We have to give the people what they want. They want the video. They're not asking for it, but they want it. They're saying they need to see what's going on. Nana was a key component when he did that dance. When he created it, had to give Nana his flowers on air right now. Nana, I appreciate you. That was a major move for you, seeing that and seeing that, like, that was an edge there. You caught that. You caught that where it was at. It was perfect timing. And then now we're going to give something very special to y'all that is going to this music video is not a regular music video. This video is it's a short film in a way, and
Which was his
it's
idea.
very special.
Right.
Which was Flash's idea. And I was like, I don't see the vision yet. But the more he laid it out, the more I just let him just like do your thing, do what you do. And I'm back. I'm sitting talent. I'm not putting my hands and controlling everything. No, this is you. Do it. Boom. And I sit passenger and watch him drive.
Right.
Swerve when he drives. But
Yeah, so pun intended.
but yeah.
But we got some.
And that's trust too. I trust, like, everybody
process.
trusts each other. Everybody trusts each other's process. Everybody trusts each other's profession.
Right.
Everybody trusts each other as people.
Yep.
Right.
You know?
Facts.
It's major. I like that, and it's kind of strange because we all kind of did that like right away. We all kind of
But it was just natural though.
very natural.
It was, yeah, it's organic.
It's organic, and then now I just can't wait for the future to show everybody. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we do behind the scenes that no one gets to see or hear, but
That's-
you just
that's
get to see
good.
the celebration.
That's
You
good.
know, in the end.
Because a lot of times y'all won't even trust it. Y'all won't trust what we're talking about.
Right.
You just see the finished product.
You'll see.
it. You'll see it. Then you'll be like, whoa, where was I? Like, you was hating. That's what you was doing.
I'm just
You was,
excited.
that's
what
exactly
you
what
was.
you doing. You was blocking
what
the
you
love. You was blocking the love in your heart. You got the love in your heart. Let it out.
Let it out.
Just say you love it.
Share it.
Just
Share
say
that
it.
love, man.
Don't be mad. Why you looking on? Why your face all screwed up for?
And you know what's crazy? Y'all social media people, they be trying to like divide us too. They be like,
Yeah.
you know, Nana's taking a lot of heat, and he's like stealing a lot of Swerve shine. I'm like, no, he's not.
right.
He's enhancing me, and I'm enhancing him.
Right.
Yes,
like,
it's a unified
it's
front.
It's a unified thing, and like they're just, you know why? Because there's no other manager out there doing that.
Right.
There's no other manager out there replicating or getting that kind of feel like Nana does and getting that reaction. So therefore, it's wrong.
Right.
I'm like, no, it's not. It's just unique.
Right.
It's unique and it's different.
and let him do something that's unique and different. That's
no, they
fun.
can't. It's hard for them to receive different and new and unique.
Of course.
Yeah,
They can't receive it. It's like being pushed into a cold pool. When you get pushed into a cold pool,
It's
what
shocking.
do you do? You're like, oh, shit. That's what you do when you go in the pool.
You got to sit in that pool for a while in order
Calm down.
to become one with it. And
Yeah,
like, now
become
when you get
one
out,
with what
you're
you're
cold.
seeing.
Yeah, right. That was change of environment.
And now the environment's changed.
It's shocking the system a little bit.
But that's the gift and the curse of being an innovator. It's what happens when you're an inventor. It's like playing. Remember that
We're
Lego
wrong.
movie? Remember that Lego movie?
Oh yeah.
I love that movie.
So you remember the guys that was able to build out like that?
Yep.
What happens to those guys? They're just the guy.
Man.
You're just the guy. You see what I'm saying? You know exactly how that's pun intended. You just become the guy, and then once you realize the guy is the one, then you're like, oh, now you're like, can you build for me your world? Yeah, we've been building worlds in front of you guys.
Yeah, you lucky I don't charge you double.
Right, double for
Right.
building. We
Hating
build
on
worlds.
Thinking so hard in the beginning.
So let's transition, bro. Today is Drake Day, October 6th.
Oh yeah, he dropped.
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dropped for the dogs,
At
or all
6
the
a.m.
dogs. All dogs go to heaven. Whatever you want to call this album,
Yeah.
man. I gave it a listen at the gym too.
What'd you
which
think?
I don't know if the Drake album is what you want to listen to in the gym while you work.
No,
I really don't. But like the first half of it,
Mhm.
and you were more plugged into the industry than ever. You probably be.
Shout out to my boy Aubrey. Shout
Yeah,
out
I'm
to
pretty sure you've got
shout out
more.
to TV Gucci. Shout out to my
Yeah.
guys. Drake
was
did
a-
a number.
it
He
was
did a
some
number on that.
There was some rapping on there. I was like,
Yeah, he was going.
What did he say? I texted to somebody. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Is he spitting? He said, game got away from the bars like a prison escape. That was the J. Cole verse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
Right.
Cole, Cole and him
Cole and
that's
him.
the tag team that people they do an album together. It's over.
Oh, fact.
I'll just tell you that.
And then Drake says something like, your girl in the bathroom laying down white lines like a premises.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that was pretty hard.
Yeah, now you going beyond. He's going Barmania. He's
Yeah,
going bar
it was pretty
mitzvah.
hard.
He's going bar mitzvah.
Them
now.
first 8 tracks, I'm
He's
like,
up on
all
top
right.
of the chair and they're
All
carrying
right,
him.
he's
They
barred.
carrying him through the
and then the second half turned into Scorpion
Yep.
feels
Yeah.
for me, and Certified Lover Boy
I'm not mad at that.
vibes.
I want to vibe out. I'm not,
Not
mad
for
at
10
you.
tracks.
No, because you're looking for the dogs. You thinking for the dogs is like, you got to understand, females are dogs too. So that's where he was trying to get to with that. You're not looking at it. Females are dogging dudes worse. My best bar he had in that was, I said, he said, would they ever give me flowers? Well, of course not.
Yeah.
They don't want to have that talk because it's a sore spot. It's the truth. And that's how I feel in my soul, and that's how I feel about a lot of these guys. And then I get mad when people don't do it for my friends.
Right.
When I'm watching it
true.
and I know what you guys are doing, then I get angry.
There's messages. The message is there, like on everything that he's like. The content's always been there. Drake's always never been like. It's just there's no growth of content in my opinion. I
But
feel
you
like
have
it's
to look. He does this every time. You
I
know it.
know.
You have to live with the Drake album. Like it. He builds
grows on you
albums.
for
Their
sure.
albums. They always grow on you like moss. You feel me? You know, like moss. Like moss. It will.
My
Swerve,
only
I
problem
promise
is
you.
I think I
Happens
can
every
listen.
time.
I can listen 4 albums back and get the same vibe and feel for this one.
You feel like there's no innovation.
Well, like Drake is actually very smart with this. He doesn't really go on current events too much.
Right.
He doesn't really focus on outside of his world and bubble.
Right.
It's, all of his albums are taking us into his world and his love affair and
And his
things that
friends
he
and all of that.
sees and his friends and his hardships and stuff, or things that he's noticing. It's not really. He only talks from his perspective. He doesn't really come from other perspectives or like talking like the broken child on the corner like a Pac would.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like, growing up hungry.
Right.
You know.
Or talk about consumerism like Kanye.
Correct. Or Kendrick, like talking about family members and
Right.
you know, he doesn't really go through pain. He has one
He
note.
gave us one on the Away From Home.
He has one note in pain.
You feel like
He has
that?
very one note in pain.
But he's the people's champ, so
But
it's like
it's
when
also
you're dealing with that.
he's also the victim of a lot of content.
True.
Oh,
He's
for
the
sure.
victim of a lot of content, which I want to go through you on. Do you think Marvel right now is in the victim stage of a lot of content at this point? Which I
From
can't.
my opinion as a consumer,
He's very opinionated. In this.
Which I'll tread lightly because you never know.
you never know what's going to happen in the future. And who's,
Well,
we
I
also know
don't.
who's
I don't want to
watching.
get you in trouble with the Marvel,
Yeah.
but like, do you think like? I try to find a way to word this. Do you think right now there's another wave of heavy hitters with Marvel coming? show or film? Or do you think they're still heavy hitting right now?
I think we're at a lull right now. I think we're all waiting for, especially as like fans of the IPs that they have in their vicinity, and hearing with them owning Fox now and hearing what's to come. I think we're all really waiting for X-Men.
Yep.
We're all really waiting.
Yeah.
We're waiting to see what the new Avengers look like.
I'm waiting. I'm honestly waiting for what's the next Avengers we're talking?
I'm waiting for Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
Yep.
Yeah. We're waiting for that,
Bro.
for that
I'm
spot.
telling you, me and Guy was just talking about that in the car earlier. Tobey Maguire is leading that. Telling y'all.
All right, that's the Prophet Flash. So
Tobey Maguire is leading that.
I don't know where he gets his information, but I'm gonna trust it.
Yeah.
You want to know
He's
why?
got Kevin Feige's number. You know he does.
Nah, look, I'm gonna tell you.
I
I know he got Elon Musk's number.
No, the main reason. Subjective. Very subjective.
He's the reason why we in X right now.
Yeah, the reason. Look, the main. This is what I'm thinking, and I'm gonna tell you why. You can tell me why you think whether he isn't or whether he is. So I think Toby is in it because of the whole thing about Secret Wars is gonna be based post Loki.
Okay.
So post Loki,
we're
we're in
too.
Loki now. You gotta watch.
Right.
It just started. First episode came out. I didn't see it yet. I would love to watch it. Maybe we should watch it together. And so basically, I'm thinking that where he has to assemble Avengers that are not from different universes that doesn't ring the alarm to Kang. When Kang knows everything, remember the other Spider-Mans, there's Spider-Mans that have died in other universes.
Yeah.
The only one that seems like was a little f***ed up is when Toby went into that universe. You get what I'm saying? And then
when
we have
when he went into
who else that he had you feel like that would be carrying? Wolverine.
I think Daredevil.
Yeah.
You need Daredevil for Secret Wars.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Wolverine.
actual
I'm saying Hugh Jackman.
comic.
I'm saying Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
You gotta revive
I'm
them.
saying
This whole
that
multiverse.
Spider-Man.
I ain't gonna
and
lie.
Daredevil.
I ain't
think
gonna lie
that'll
to
be
you.
their
I ain't
heavies.
gonna lie. I'm a little multiversed out.
Right.
It's because
But the Secret Wars, there's nothing that we
they're
can do.
not building anything with it, so it's kind of like.
Are they? Are they not?
Well,
I think that they are now mainly because
They're building. We're
Look,
not going to
Kang-
know what they're building to until we see it.
you're not gonna know. But like Kang is Jonathan Majors is setting up for the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is really here to conquer.
let me take it back. Okay, we know they're building something with Kang,
Right.
but Kang has already been defeated like multiple
By
times
ants.
by. Well, I won't go what he was defeated by, but
Yeah, no, but that main you thinking that's the beef my brother had. That Supreme Kang or whatever, was that the Supreme Kang we were seeing?
No,
No. That
no,
was not Supreme.
no. The post credit scene showed all those
the
Kangs.
Yeah,
and
so
they showed
who?
that
But
Supreme
that
Kang.
wasn't.
Yeah,
but
right.
that Kang, the Kang in the suit, our main big Kang.
Yeah.
How do we know
Big
if he's
Daddy
dead?
Kang.
Big Daddy Kang.
How do we know if he's dead when he got sent back? He got sent back into that world. That doesn't necessarily mean he's dead.
Well, I
version.
just want, like I said, I'm multiversed out. The best multiverse movie I've seen in the past couple years is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. That was the best movie.
Multiverse done right. That's what I expected. Doctor Strange to be.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange is more of a horror movie. They were
Was
trying
it?
to push.
Sam Raimi, baby.
Yeah, that was Sam Raimi. They were going for
It was
that.
It was very Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I mean, I never got a jump scare in a.
I just
I
think
got a jump scare in that movie.
We're at the beginning of
Yeah.
what we got before the first Avengers.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting right now. They have to they had to rebuild after Endgame.
Are you excited for Deadpool?
Always.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Always.
So you're
Always
gonna
been
get a
excited for
you know
Deadpool.
that you're gonna get a Deadpool movie and it's a hard
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's a hard R for sure.
Hard
Must be
R.
hard.
Yeah, I mean they going Logan
Oh, look,
like
they put me
it's
up
just
there.
this is
Yeah.
this is before Logan. This is
Yeah.
before Logan, right? No, this is after Logan.
This is after Logan.
After Logan.
So, but didn't he die?
No.
This is before Logan. This is
It has to be
pre-Logan.
Before it has to be pre.
Yeah, this is pre-Logan.
I'm not gonna act like
see,
I know
now-
everything.
now-
I can't. I'm not Mr. Marvel, bro.
yeah.
I'm like,
You're Captain
now
Marvel.
we're getting a little messy. Now we're getting a little messy.
Yeah, y'all gonna get me in
you see how
trouble.
everyone's like a little confused
Uh-huh.
about like the timeline. and
Oh, so
stuff?
is this what he's saying
But
about
the
the
other thing,
multiverse?
too, is that
Yeah, it's like everyone's a little confused about like what exactly is kind of lining up.
right. It
Just
did-
ask
but-
Mrs. Time. She's
then
gonna help
again-
us. Mrs. Time will help us.
And it really started doing that when Black Widow was really
Right.
that delay really kind of set things out of whack
Right.
with the time
Right.
chronologically.
I'll tell you what messed me up with the whole Gamora thing.
Yep, that did too.
Yeah.
And
But-
yeah.
All praises due to Guardians 3.
Killed
Yes.
it. Killed
That was a
it.
great movie.
I never
Incredible.
felt emotionally like that to any Marvel movie.
Man, that's another person who gave me really good flowers. James Gunn.
James Gunn? Yeah.
He was like, oh man, if you read the scripts, he has the songs in the script that he's gonna use.
Ooh.
And so you hear it in your head as you're reading through the scenes. And I just remember him giving me he was talking to the stunt coordinator, Tom Harper. Shout out to Tom Harper. He was the guy who gave me my first shot in Captain America Winter Soldier. He was like, can we use Guy here? He's like, well, we just use Guy over here. He's like, all right, so is there anybody as good as Guy that we can use?
No.
And that was based off the character.
No.
And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he wanted to put me in everything, every spot that he possibly could. And I was like, that's
the
I gotta put myself up now, and I gotta really make sure I'm doing these acting classes right. I gotta find a way to get an agent that's gonna get me into this and the third, so I can get in front of these guys more so as a stunt guy, more as an actor,
more as an actor,
exactly.
right?
And like how talk about that transition. How many guys have really made that big transition from stunt guy to
like one.
on screen?
There's like two of them, man.
Yeah,
It's
two
not
big ones, but like one
the
guy
biggest.
that they know about.
The one that everybody knows is Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Jackie. Yep.
That's the biggest one.
I thought Scott Adkins was going to be that guy, which
He
done
deserves
a lot.
it.
Yeah, he does. He's incredible.
Right.
Which with the Boyka character, I like. It got his own movie. It's all got its own spinoff movie.
Right.
But man, I thought it was really going to see him like really transition.
It would have been
like,
tight to see him actually be a Batman.
Oh God,
I wouldn't mind that. I would like that more than
He did
you know
play-
who, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna slander him online. But I didn't care for that at all. I never
I
want to see
was
it
there.
again.
I was there when he was not caring for it.
Yeah. I don't even want to say his name. We don't gotta talk about it. You
But then
know,
what- but
the
then
last
there-
Batman. I'm cool.
But then there was like he got that role in John Wick in the fat suit.
Yeah.
And, like,
that
so-
was a great role for him.
realize
that was
him.
Scott
Yeah.
Adkins. Yeah.
That's Scott.
Oh man,
That's dope.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big part.
Yeah. Chad
was
Stahelski
huge
is
to
a
me.
genius for that.
that was huge.
That was genius.
That's
I didn't know who that was, bro.
He's like, man, and it reminded me of like old school Sammo Hung.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm like-
dude, big fan of him.
Yeah, I'm a big '80s
Martial
Hong
law.
Kong era, golden age. Of
Nah,
martial
you
arts.
messed me up when I saw. Did you watch? You watched Enter the Dragon, right?
Yeah. Of course.
All right, so there's a scene I'm watching it in the movie with Guy, right? And we're watching it, and I'm like, I've seen this a million times. There's a scene when where he's fighting Jackie Chan. I didn't know it was Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan gets punched as a stuntman
yeah.
by Bruce Lee, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was
Head up.
like, he was like, "Yep, there goes Jackie." I mean, he
Puts him
said,
in
I was
arm
like,
lock,
"That's crazy."
Puts him in a
bro.
hammerlock and pulls his head up.
Yep.
Hits him with a nunchuck.
Yep. I remember that.
That's
I got-
crazy. I never
actually,
noticed that.
Enter the Dragon was inspired me and AR Fox going to the school.
Wow.
That's where I got that from. I was like, like Enter the Dragon, going to his school, beating up the guy in this school.
Yeah.
That's what inspired that school invasion, the Buddy Wayne Academy.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's tight. That's tight. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you see how this is real nerd stuff y'all
Nerd
seeing,
stuff,
real
man.
blurred stuff y'all seeing. over
And you
here.
know the coolest thing is like we get to take our nerdom and use it for work.
Right.
that's the best.
Yeah,
feeling.
that's the
It's
coolest
source
thing.
the
material,
best
baby.
feeling.
Facts.
It is amazing, bro. Man, like I'm gonna let y'all riff. I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
Don't cut. Keep going.
Well, shit.
Y'all riff.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, y'all in whose house?
You're in Swerve's house.
In my house.
Yeah, pinky up.
Yeah.
Pinkies up.
Good old T. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, so all right. Like you named yourself Flash.
Oh, you really?
I want to know. I want you to talk about why you named yourself Flash.
I know a lot of people want to know that.
Why Flash?
Well, in high school they used to call me Fresh, right? In school, Fresh, for the people that don't know, in Ebonics, Fresh people call it, it's people that dress well and stuff like that. In high school, I used to be a well-dressed individual in school. They would call me a bad kid per se.
I call you a bad kid all the time.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was bad because I would just not pay attention, but I was really smart. I would get good grades when it mattered, but then I was bad when it came to people telling me what to do.
Bad kid.
Yeah, I just wasn't good at like authority. You know what I'm saying? But like they'll be like, "Oh, take your test, take the FCAT, take all of these tests, your SATs," and I'll just nail them. Like without, it seems like I never even studied. They'd be like, "How did you know how to do this?" I'm just really smart like that, like a real nerd. And then they're like, "Why would you call yourself Fresh?" They would call me Fresh in school. They started calling me Fresh. I never called myself. I never was the self-proclaimed king of nothing.
Right.
So in school, they would be like, "Yo, Fresh." They didn't know my name.
Right.
So I used to be just, you know, be the light skinned dude. They're like, yo, what are you doing, man? You got all these kicks, man. You got the academics, man. You got the Mecca. You got all of, man. You got red monkeys. You got Evisels. I'm like, yeah. My mom used to just make sure I'm in all the J's, and then she goes, yo, I'm like not my senior year. My 11th grade, my boy was like, bro, my boy Teray Reed, that's his name. I never even said that. Shout out to my boy Teray. He's like, yo, your name ain't Fresh. Your name Flash, man. You a real flashy Negro. And I was like, what? Who says that? He's like, yeah, like Flash. Like, you flashy, so you like Flash. That's why I want to call you now. And I'm like, all right, bet. We going to run with that. And he's like, it's short. And for me, I started going crazier with it. I was like, my middle name is Fly, but my last name is Garments. So it's Flash Fly Garments. That was like my full name, but I'm going like Wu-Tang Clan, you know, the stuff we listen to. I'm like, my first rap name ever, I'm gonna drop a bomb on the Swerve City podcast right now. My first rap name ever was Belligerously Bad Genotype.
How do you spell that?
I have no idea. I looked it up. Look, I looked it up on Ask Jeeves. What is your Wu-Tang name? And I put my name, my government name in it, and it came out Belligerously Bad Genotype. And I told my brother, I'm like, bet. My brother was like, bro, no one will ever rap that at your show.
BBG, son.
BBG.
The BBG, son. You got BBG.
And then my uncle
How do you chant that? Religiously bad genocide.
You can't, because there was all the Wu-Tang members, it had simple names.
Right.
You had Raekwon the Chef. It was always a piece. You had Ghostface Killer. But Ghostface Killer came from Kung Fu movies.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And most of their stuff came from like Kung Fu movies and like, you know, Iron Man, Tony Starks. You know who that is. Well,
what I liked about like Marvel names was like the real person's names.
Right.
Was always the first letter of the first, like they was
Yeah,
Peter Parker,
Right.
You know, Victor Von Doom and stuff like that. That was like, that's clever, and you kind of remember their names forever,
exactly,
because of that kind of stuff.
Right, but then they wonder why. They're like, why the garments? And I'm like, the kings and queens wore garments. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got into garments, because Guy brought me to my first Renaissance fair. So then I finally got to see where I even got that adaptation in my mind from watching like all of those type of movies that I've watched and stuff like that. And like I just started saying garments, but then my tag, when they hear me say garments before I come out or before Swerve's theme song, me doing that was I wanted to be a superhero. So that's why, like, when you see a Batman or anybody, that's me putting my bat signal in the air. So that's where that came from. That's me, like, letting you know he's coming and he's gonna run out. You hear that?
Dope little history lesson.
But then I also thought it would be doper for DJs pressing it. Garment. We come on. Hey.
I'm doing a thing.
Yeah. You're wrestling against the most.
You know what it's gonna be, Swerve. This match is gonna be a battle of the yes, Swerve. Yes.
We might do that in the match. It might happen.
Yeah.
But like, like people don't understand how like I'm a grappler too.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, they don't know that
people,
you're all around wrestler.
Like I've grappled with Zack Sabre,
hold
for hold. You know, I've grappled with John Gresham. You name them, I've grappled with them guys. So like, this is gonna be a fun one. I'm like, I haven't had to get my grappler bag in a while. I grappled with a Wheeler Yuta. That was like my only like hold for hold match. I really like with transitions and stuff. So
what city are you going to next?
That's going to be in Independence, Missouri, which is Kansas City.
Okay.
That's on the Tuesday.
You know what I was thinking, Swerve? I'm like wondering. I wanted to talk to you. I'm like, when do we debut this? Do we wait for the pay-per-view to debut this video?
Oh no, that's going to be in like late November.
Yeah, so you want to bang him over the head? You want to bang him?
We have to hit that on national television.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, and I got a lot of strings I can pull to make that happen. I'm a top guy now.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Put some respect on it.
Jeff Jarrett told me that.
Oh.
Yeah, if you don't believe that, you get hit in the head with a guitar if you don't believe that.
JJ said
Double
that?
J.
The Double
J.
She's throwing socks at people?
She's been doing that for like months.
That's impressive.
Yeah. We're watching Rampage.
Yeah.
Oh, she knows. She's well aware. That's why she's doing it.
She got
the color scheme is fire, though.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out Marina Shafir. She was a guest on here on the podcast. Fire human being.
She's dope.
Yes, she is.
She's in
her and Music Soul Child in the same video.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah, The Hustle, Music Soul Child.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, we the integration, man. We're doing
Integration
it's dumb.
station.
It's dumb. Nah, with juice, zombie juice, and these dreams.
Yeah, no,
AR Fox and freaking Fireman.
Yeah, I had to give you a high five on that because I love that video.
Yeah,
that y'all did,
man.
That's a real. I had to give you a verbal high five with that because that video, that the scene of the church and how it looked, and you as the preacher, I'm like, man, this is tough because I'm a big music video guy. I'm one of those Rhapsody in the Basement guys.
That's why I presented it to you. I was like, all right, I need your eye.
Yeah.
What you feel?
That was
two
tough.
videos, man.
Both of those videos are tough. Both of them are two different feelings, but it's like, it's cinema. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting bored. My whole thing now is us just bringing cinema to everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, God. There's only so many times I can watch people rap at a gas station.
Right.
Holding a brick of money.
Yeah, or standing in front of, like, we gave you a little bit of standing in front of the cars. We will never give y'all that again. I'm just letting y'all know. Swerve, we gave you some.
But
but there's a story. There's a reason.
Visuals,
There's a reason why we're in front of the cars because they just seen it behind the scenes, so they don't know.
Like, how many times is you ass is shaking in a music video, but, you know, with Work It, there's like a little cinematic.
Yeah, that's a cinematic drive for the reasoning.
You know, we gave you some
it.
Busta Rhymes, body paint, glowing. There too, so it's like there's a lot of stuff, but you know.
But I mean, you're an actor, so I mean, I don't know if they watch, but my boy is in a movie with my boy. Shout out to Matthew Hirsch. He put him in
here tomorrow night.
Yeah,
filming.
Yeah,
the next podcast.
You know what I'm saying? He's in a movie. He's in a horror movie that's doing extremely well on. I mean, it has a lot of awards already. It's doing very well in a horror.
Promised is but the entire it's part of an anthology.
Yeah, a huge shout out to Sam Gonzalez, great.
Yes,
director.
Tremendous person,
super
like,
talented
individual guy that I was meeting in L.A. We went to the premiere of it. Man, so much.
Had Getty and everything there. My boy is a real actor, so don't be surprised when you.
Don't look surprised.
Don't look surprised. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. You know what I'm saying?
What's some tropes in films that you're like tired of seeing? Like we need to just get out of there.
Oh, you're good. He's about to go in.
Like, all right, you get in. You're like, oh man, again.
He's about to go in.
It's so hard because like we all like spoiler. No, there's no such thing as an original story anymore.
No,
it's just how you tell the story, right?
Right.
I hate telegraph stuff. When you can tell like, oh, this is where he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is where the guy gets the girl.
Yep.
Like the running and I love you so much and I need you and I confessing my love to you after I did the thing that hurt us, that separated us, that was stupid anyway, that all we had to do was talk about, but nobody wanted to talk about. And let's
prolong plot.
Yeah, right.
I'm really tired of it.
And also like a big thing that happens in the action world or the action film world is how they treat action. We treat action like it's just a thing to get us through a time slot of a film, right? This is where we fight. And it's like, okay, but they just fought and we got nothing new from that fight. Fight,
nothing resolved.
Right, nothing was resolved, nothing new came up. As an audience, every scene you're watching has a purpose. And what is that scene doing in terms of what it does for the movie? So you have to treat the fight scenes the same way, and I think we haven't.
I don't think we gotten that since like Kill Bill, like the feeling of a fight, of purpose of it.
Right.
When it happened, we was like, yes,
because you're caught up. But you're caught up with the energy of it. Like, oh, this is exciting. This is time to wake up. And it's like, no, like, why? What are we gonna learn about the character? What happens to Swerve at the end of this fight that we didn't have in the beginning of this fight? Which will take him to the next fight. Right.
Why?
What pushes him? And that's because we confuse action sequences with fight sequences. Action sequences is just a point of showing this guy do this thing. Where a fight sequence, a fight is supposed to change the character, change the story, add something to the story. So we're now, for some reason, we're getting at this point where they're kind of overlapping each other, and now we're losing a bit of the storytelling aspect of the fight.
Yes,
and then you just burnt out.
Yeah,
like I one thing I'll never forget at the end of Bruce Lee's fight with Chuck Norris was like the neck break, and you could see like him something. It hurt something inside of him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that.
It was rage, but then it went to like sympathy.
Right.
It's like, I just had to kill this man. It was either him or me.
Right.
Man, I'm sorry I had to do this. And that just like fire
Yeah,
and rage.
all in his
and then
face.
It went to like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Right.
But no, but
Yeah.
that's the shit that you was just telling me earlier this week. It was acting without any words.
Right.
They don't do that anymore. It's hella dialogue, like purposeless dialogue.
But then you have those actors that can do that, right? Like the
Yeah.
father, the guy who I forgot his name right now, and I'm so upset I don't have his name right now. But the guy who played the father in Shang-Chi,
Oh yes.
he's known as
He's
being
incredible.
the dude that acts with his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to convey every emotion that you need with just looking at you, looking at the camera, looking out, and and everybody seeing you, and that's what's really about.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that are said
yeah.
without saying.
Well, in the whole opening of Shang-Chi, it was being narrated, and he wasn't giving you dialogue. It was just his face.
Yeah.
It was his eyes. It was like, and that's the day I met your father. And I was like, oh, he told that whole story of it was a love story.
Yep.
With his eyes, a
His
whole
eyes
mini
with
movie.
action.
Yeah.
Right.
By the end of that fight, he fell in love,
Right.
Right.
which made him stop fighting.
Yep. And the death brings him back, and then and
It was beautiful. I was like, laid it out. Like there's a lot of underrated tones in those Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, but it's the vision of you guys that do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris.
oh yeah. Shout out to Chris Cowan, by the way. He's one of my closest buddies. He was one of the action directors for Shang-Chi. You've seen his work in Han Solo. You've seen his work in The Kingsman 2. He's a brother, which is dope.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
brother
we
on
came
that,
we
for
came
sure.
up on the indie circuit together. Like you guys have an indie world, we got an
Yes,
indie
we do.
world.
Yeah.
You know, which
That's
is
why
really
I say
cool.
that these entertainment industries run very parallel. And like
Yeah,
music, there's an indie circuit in music,
Yep.
indie
Right.
circuit in comedy.
Yep.
Like it's all very parallel.
And they don't know we're the first ones that will bring these worlds together.
Every time.
This is what's happening.
Every
What
time,
y'all are
baby.
seeing. Y'all gonna see big feature movies. You're gonna see blockbusters. You just keep this video and watch this later on, and you'll see.
The prophet
There's
flash
a
has spoken.
timestamp on this. We got about like maybe 5 more minutes left, and I'm gonna bring up a question that you brought up at dinner in Seattle. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon? Who had the better cartoons?
Oh
he's
my
my man wearing the shirt right there.
He does.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
chances of that?
Yeah, I was like, we gotta hit him with the Nicktoons. I
Wow.
say Nicktoons had an all-star cast over Cartoon Network.
Easily,
man.
but Cartoon Network really
had to
controlled
get
my
rid
life,
of
a lot of
one?
my life, because Space Ghost Coast to Coast. There was a lot of stuff that
Heavy.
really,
Brack.
yeah, that was like heavy
Right.
on me.
Brack was hilarious.
Beatboxing, he was beatboxing.
Yo.
People don't understand.
But man, if you go like the Nicktoons were loaded.
I mean,
The
facts.
time slots were loaded in Nicktoons. We had the
Absolutely.
Rugrats, the Dugs, the Angry
Rocket
Beavers,
Power.
Rocket
Yup.
Power, huge.
Huge.
Then you go into like Cat Dog,
Hey
Ren and
Arnold.
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy's, the Hey Arnolds, and
They had different levels of
Fairly
types
Odd
of cartoons
Parents.
too for you.
Oh man, Fairly Odd Parents
it
was
was
dope.
Danny Phantoms.
Dexter.
Yep.
No, Dexter's cartoon.
Oh, Dexter's Cartoon
Network.
Network. Wouldn't that make you? I think that was their answer. I think that was their answer to a lot of their cartoons.
Oh yeah, they were. There was a,
Powerpuff
Dexter
Girls.
was like an answer.
Powerpuff Girls. It was big in the Cartoon Network, but they were battling, man. They were
Oh,
battling
yeah.
for years.
The 90s, early 2000s was a
Stick
great time.
Stickly.
Yeah. Oh, Stick
Wow.
Stickly.
Stop it.
But see, the
Yeah,
thing
that-
Blam.
it's so hard for me because, like,
Huh?
if I say let's get rid of
That's
Cartoon
Yeah.
Network, that means I get rid of Toonami.
You can't get rid of Toonami.
I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm just saying Nicktoons.
You
was
said
better.
which one would be better?
Does Toonami count though as cartoon? Like for
'Cause
cartoons,
Toonami-
like Nick, if we're talking cartoons.
I mean,
I'll say Cartoon Network is more affiliated with a Boomerang
okay.
than it was Toonami.
Mm.
Me personally,
So like Scooby Doo, we get rid of Scooby,
that's a Cartoon Network. yeah.
Jabberjaw.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I would get rid of
Josie and the
Jabberjaw. I get rid of
Pussycats.
Jabberjaw, but Scooby Doo is a hard one.
Kabong,
SWAT Cats.
Yogi,
SWAT Cats.
SWAT Cats, Yogi Bear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Yeah,
Bugs. Daffy.
that's Looney Tunes though.
Yeah, that's all Looney Tunes.
But
World. That's Warner.
That's
That's
true.
Warner.
That's
yeah.
Warner.
Nah,
That's still Warner.
Because like you got to separate like the Warners from the Disneys,
Disneys
from the
from the
Cartoon
Cartoon
Network.
You
Network.
saying
Tunes.
Cartoon Network originals versus
Yeah.
Nickelodeon
Okay, cartoon.
originals?
All right, fine.
So you can't go like
I gotta go
you
Nick.
can't go Huckleberry Hound. And
You
stuff
you
like
got you
that.
kind yeah you kind
Yeah,
of
but
gotta
yeah.
go there. You're right.
And
you're
Speedy
right.
Gonzalez. You can't. Yeah, that's all the.
Yeah, Wacky Razors.
But where would those go if Cartoon Network wasn't around?
That's real though. Cartoon Network did like keep those around.
No, because Cartoon Network controlled the IP for them.
Right.
For
that was the only
WB.
reason I knew like who they were.
Right.
Yeah.
And they refurbished some of them. They were like, yeah, let's scrub this back up. You know,
They did. And I think they redid Scooby Doo to death, and it needs to just.
man, Pup Named Scooby Doo is my joint though. I don't care.
We
what
gotta let
anybody
that
says.
joint die. We gotta let
What was Darla on?
Yeah,
Daria.
Daria, yeah. What
That
was
was
she on?
MTV.
that was MTV, bro.
That was all the way over. That was a mature ass show.
Yeah, that was over there.
That show was for the teenagers,
No, yeah,
bro.
that, and then Doug was the first ones to introduce me to depression.
Truth
Facts.
and equality because everybody.
Think about that. See, you never
Yeah,
thought about
right,
that, did
yeah.
you?
Diversity.
Yeah,
was
Doug
big.
That
was
depressed.
depressed. What do you
That's why he's in
mean?
his room making
He
all
was.
those.
How long are you gonna holler at the same girl? When
patties.
Roger was definitely getting the skins, he was definitely getting.
Roger Klotz
Yeah,
was.
Roger Klotz.
Roger
Meanwhile,
Klotz was, in the
meanwhile,
club.
Skeeter is trying to figure out how he could get in on Patty on the low,
Right.
and that's his man's. He was doing.
I missed that show,
Oh,
bro.
man.
I was an Angry Beavers fan though.
Oh, me too.
Angry Beavers was
And-
All Real
Angry
Monsters.
Beavers.
Whoa, that's a bomb. I Real Monsters.
All Real
is a bomb.
Monsters.
Facts.
We would have never got that Monsters Inc. I think if we didn't have All
That's
Real
true.
Monsters.
That's true.
That's true.
I'll give you that.
I definitely feel like that's their
The
made
live
it okay
action,
to play
the
with
live actions,
eyeballs.
but see, Nick also
Yeah.
had live action shows.
Oh yeah.
You Scared of the Dark, Goosebumps,
Keenan and Kel, all that.
Kenan
Guts.
Kel, all that guts.
Guts. Like,
Ooh, Double Dare.
That's something the Cartoon Network could not go up against them with.
What was the Temple one?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Then
I
You know you
be on
wanted
one
to be
of
on
those
that.
shows so
You know you wanted to be on
bad.
that.
I wanted to be on Guts.
Hey, as an adult right now, if they allowed us to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple, would you be with it? Us three right now.
I always wanted to be like, oh
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
So if you had to choose, what
My
happens if, no, what happens if
30-year-old
they
ass,
said-
I'd be like, shut up, kid.
No, what happens if they said,
My
look,
turn.
no,
No,
but
when
it's
the- when
only grown-ups. What happens if they said it's a grown-up version of it, but it's either we could do Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts, or Double Dare. Which one you gonna choose?
Guts. You got like Guts.
Guts.
You have to have adults on.
Guts.
Because like on Legends of the Hidden Temple, like let them Oogie Boogie dudes come out and try to fight like Bobby Lashley. Like no,
Right.
you're
Nah,
like,
nah.
get out of here. They ain't coming to like trap
Mush.
him and bring him inside of a temple.
Swerve used to do that. Boo, boo, hit him with a house call. Bah.
Like, no, I hit the Bruce Lee. Get away from me. Like that, like,
Let him go.
I'm grabbing the monkey head, fool. You ain't doing nothing about it. Slide it in. Boom.
Slide him in. Boom, I know
One
exactly.
prize. I'm going to Bermuda with my family for a weekend.
Boom. Prize.
Prize.
Yo.
Yo.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
CD.
Yo, I won $5,000 once on Deal or No Deal.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You was on Deal
I
or No
was on
Deal?
Deal or No Deal.
Yo. What?
I need this footage, man.
It was funny,
He,
too,
he
'cause-
hides a lot of footage, guys.
He does.
Wayne Brady called me Gus.
Your name was Gus on there?
That's why he kept calling me Gus because he couldn't read, he only read like the first two letters, so he assumed it was Gus. Yeah, I won $5,000. He's like, I gave you $5,000. I'll call you what I want.
You know what?
You are
Ooh.
right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
You know, if there was one game show I would have been on, if I could have chose Supermarket Sweep,
Oh, what?
I would have loved to have been on Supermarket Sweep, bro.
Man.
Because I was a
Yeah, I
food,
would've
I was
got-
a fat kid, so I would have been on one aisle the
all
whole time.
aisles, all
Chips,
snacks.
cookies, gummy bears, this, Snickers, this. I'm like, you know, you got to go get the frozen turkey and Snickers, this, cereal bars.
That's the most
Graham
expensive
crackers.
stuff. Get that.
No, but they had a show like that on Nickelodeon that was for toys. Y'all remember
Oh,
that?
yeah? Oh.
They
I
did a
don't.
supermarket type of style thing for toys. Remember that? And that was like if you get it was a parent and a kid, and whatever you get, you could
would've
keep.
lost it.
Whatever you get, you could keep. But if you do not fill your cart with all the stuff at the time that the buzzer hits,
I don't
you
remember
can't
this
get
at all.
nothing. Remember that?
Wow.
And there was kids that would win, and I'd just be like, bro, there's no way that this dude is winning, bro. Like he'll come out and be like, look, mom, I got all of this. And you just be like, bro,
Put it
you
back.
didn't choose none of the Power Rangers, bro. Like you not him, bro. Like,
Dang.
yeah,
That
you know,
show,
choices like
well, this episode just exposed how big of kids we are.
Oh, yeah. We big ass.
And
kids.
in keeping that little childlike wonder in our hearts is what made us the men we are today, fulfilling our dreams, living our dreams to the fullest extent of media, of entertainment, the biggest you can go with myself in the pro wrestling world. You got Guy DaSilva in the Marvel movie world and Flash Garments in the music world. So that's a little salute to you guys. Give them your social medias or where they can find you and your music and your films and whatever y'all doing.
they know they could find me at Flash Garments on everything. Flash Garments.
You can find me on Guy DaSilva-Greene on Instagram, and stay tuned for another episode of Stunt Reacts on corridordigital.com.
I love that show, and y'all need to love it too. Subscribe.
Oh, we're about to do a wrestling one.
And guess
We're
what?
setting it up.
Survey says you'll be there.
Yeah, we have to because everybody's been asking for it. So, and I was like, I know some people. I know,
You know several.
I know a couple people.
Yeah, Nico has to get a lot of moves done on him.
Let's go. I'll body anybody, any stuntman in there. They'll be flipped upside down like nothing.
Yes.
Got them looking scummy. Anyway,
Scummy.
be confident in everything you do. Wash your ass and do your homework. We out.
Peace.